Hi everyone, we're here at the Soil Outdoor Learning Lab in Durango, Colorado, where we are here with about 75 first grade students who are here on a field trip to learn about how the sun works in relationship to gardening. They're utilizing the growing dome for this purpose, as well as part of a larger scale community project. So we're going to meet with Charlie and Brooke, who are part of the Soil Outdoor Learning Lab, and see how these concepts come to life. Okay. Even though this growing dome is located at a specific school campus, the kids who are here today have actually been bused here from a different school. So it's great to see how this growing dome and this larger community garden is used by the entire school district and the community all together.
The school district and Parks and Recreation have partnered to create this space, which is a community garden and educational outdoor growing space. We have school programs for the entire school district, as well as family and community programs. We have community garden beds that folks can rent through Parks and Recreation, and we host events here like workshops and volunteer days. But our main purpose is working with students in the school district to help them connect science concepts that they're learning in the classroom with gardening.
And so what I always like to do is to find an application for what they're learning. So back at their home schools, they've learned some things about, the patterns of the sun throughout the day, throughout the year. And then when they come here, we apply that to what are the implications for gardening and for designing a garden.
So we do field trips 3 days a week during the spring and the fall. And now that we have a grow dome, we'll be able to do that during the winter as well, which is really exciting. And then during the summer, we have our community garden and community programs. We have lots going on here all the time. So today we have a field trip. We might have a college group come later in the day. We may have a volunteer event this weekend, just some examples. And we always have community gardeners coming in and out, different people stopping by, walking by, asking about the garden. But today, for example, we have 75 first graders learning about the sun and the seasons in the garden, which is really exciting.
We were having temperatures of 100 degrees in the middle of the winter in here. So that allows us to obviously extend the growing season. And then the kids are able to look around and figure out the reason why we have silver reflective material on the north side of the dome where sun is not shining in, and how that reflective material can provide even more energy for the plants and help to warm up the pond. But it all just really connects very nicely, and then the dome provides a very tangible example of how understanding that science can really lead to some innovative designs and solutions to real world problems.
Today we're on our field trip for the Soil Lab. We're able to explore the gardens and being able to go in the grow dome to be able to get our hands a little dirty, but also get into the science behind it all and be able to get the kids inside of the actual learning instead of just reading about it. Now they get to do it, and I'm really glad that we get to use this opportunity.
So with our first graders today, we're using the grow domes a few different ways. With my group, I bring them in here and we try some different foods that are growing in the grow dome. So I have them pick a green bean and try that. And then we try some beets and some rainbow chard that we've grown in here. And I just ask them to come in and notice the difference between the grow dome and the garden, notice what plants are growing in here, what kind of environment this is and climate it is in here. And it is really exciting for them to go from the garden outside, where mostly nothing is growing yet, to a complete jungle inside of the grow dome. We're gonna try something else. We're gonna try beets. Who's had a beet before? This is what it looks like before I cut it up, after I cut the leaves off. It's caked inside. It's crunchy and sweet. I really like it.
Yeah, I do.
We've had over 1,000 students just this spring come through. We've been able to feed all of them snacks, beets, radishes, lettuces. And so for our first few months of growing, I've been very surprised how much productivity we've had, and I know we'll just have more and get better at it.
Everything that we had was so different.
We first built a community garden with about 100 garden beds, and that was a great start. We're in our third season now. And then the thing that was lacking was, what happens in the winter. So that inspired us to want to build a grow dome so that we could grow food and bring people together and do educational programming throughout the winter months. I really do love being able to harvest green beans in March, and definitely being able to have all the food is great. If you look out in the garden beds right now, there's like just a couple herbs that are starting to pop up, but not much else than that in April and May.
The grow dome is amazing. It's my first time working in a grow dome, and all along the way it's just been so cool to see the possibilities of this space, and especially for a learning garden to be able to have this season extension and such an exciting environment in here for our students, and to have plants that we might not be able to even grow in Colorado at all, like our fig tree, our pomegranate trees, we have pineapple, we have lemons. All of those things really excite the kids to be able to actually see those in real life.
Strawberries have been really cool because all through the winter we did have strawberries ripening, and so it's pretty special to eat like a really good sweet strawberry in January that's growing right here. Flowers are really fun too. Like these borage flowers are very easy to grow. They're tasty to eat. They're great for attracting pollinators. So I love growing different edible flowers. I think my favorite overall part of the dome is just the response from kids when they come in, and adults. So we have people passing by all the time that have been watching it being built and looking in the window and watching the progress. And when they come in for the first time, they're just so excited to see the abundance of life and how things are growing. And so I think that's the part that I like the best, is just seeing people's reactions when they come in and the enthusiasm and excitement. It just makes my job a lot more fun.
It's really cool to see how the Soil Outdoor Learning Lab has combined both raised garden beds and aquaponics within the same growing dome. We've had the pleasure of meeting with many different schools, specifically the Pagosa Springs High School, which is doing raised bed gardening, as well as Santa Fe Community College, which is doing all aquaponics. So it's really nice to be able to see a mixture of both.
My favorite part of the grow dome is our aquatic plants. I've always been a little bit of a nerd for aquatic plants, and having seen some other grow domes in the area, I'm just really excited to have our pond just like covered in gorgeous plants that many people have never seen before, and to have that available for folks is just really cool. And yeah, we're, part of our mission is engaging the community, and I feel like this dome really does that. Like everyone's excited about it when they see it, really wants to see what's inside, and it's just something that brings a lot of joy to folks, especially considering our short growing season. It's really awesome. So
a big goal with this dome was to do, besides growing food, we also just wanted to demonstrate different innovative techniques and strategies for growing. And so Aquaponics offers an alternative to growing in soil. So I don't think that one is better than the other, but it's really just wanting to show people different possibilities. And so with the aquaponics system, we have a 4,000 gallon tank that's part of the dome, and that's primarily for thermal storage. And then the smaller pond that we see over here is about 200 gallons, and that's connected to these 3 growing beds. And in total, there's about 350 gallons of water in the system, about 50 tilapia right now. We got those very small, about 1 gram each. And as they grow, we're feeding them. They're creating a lot of waste. The system sends that water with the waste in it through a biofilter. So the plants are taking something out of the water that would ultimately become toxic to the fish and using that as fertilizer. And then obviously the fish are providing that nutrients for the plants to thrive. So they rely on each other, and it creates a very cool closed loop system of nutrient cycling.
My favorite part about being here today was getting to see the look on all the students' faces and having them try different fruits and vegetables that they haven't necessarily tried before. And not only the looks on the kids' faces, but the looks of the teachers. You can tell that they really enjoy being here and teaching the students something that they wouldn't learn in the classroom.
I know that this garden is really new to Durango, and so I think it's really phenomenal that they're including the students to be able to also build the community garden while also inviting community members to help contribute energy. And so it's really nice to see how it's already blossomed in just a year, because this grow dome wasn't here a year ago, and to see that the kids also get to go in and see what's grown inside of it is really, really cool. And I'm interested to see what they keep bringing in and how they keep improving that and elevating the different learnings opportunities.
So we've got high school engineering and computer science students from Durango High School. Recently did some prototypes and designs and models of an automated ventilation system in the dome, which would allow us to control our fans and our misters from afar. That was really cool for them to get to actually come here, think about what they would want to do, and then make those designs that we might actually use. So that's been really cool, and the Grow Dome is a lot of opportunities for projects like that, so that's been really exciting. Working with kids outside in gardens is a passion of mine and has been for a long time, and so when I get to help on field trips and have kids and students in the garden connecting the things they're learning at school with real life and getting excited about plants, it just makes me feel so joyful and fulfilled and feel like we're really enhancing what they're learning in school. And there's nothing else like it. It makes me so happy to see them get excited in a way they otherwise might not about science and about food and about plants.
I am not from Southwest Colorado. I'm from Southeast Alaska. And so to see students do this for their field trips is really, really cool to see that they're learning sustainable ways to build their own spaces for themselves, but also to contribute to a whole community of people is really phenomenal. Because I really want the kids to be able to feel comfortable going to strangers and be like, can I help you? Can I help you learn how to do this? And so it's really great to see that they get to go into a space where they're like, can I help you learn? And so I am really grateful that I get to see that, but also help give the kids that opportunity too.
The kinds of projects and activities that I'm seeing students do with the dome are the best educational, experiences that I've seen in 25 years of teaching.
Thank you so much for coming along on our field trip today. We hope that you learned something new about how the growing dome can be used in educational purposes, as well as a community setting. If you'd like to learn more about how a growing dome does operate all year long, please check out our website, growingspaces.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.